conference will now be recorded.
It's Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. This will be the last AnCan meeting this year. We're not meeting next week. Welcome to the AnCan virtual support meeting for high risk, recurrent, and advanced prostate cancer. I'm moderator Ben Nathanson, and I'm not joined by Len Sierra, and we're not joined by John Antonucci, but we are joined by Rick Davis, the founder of AnCan. You'll hear medical issues discussed, but we're just a bunch of guys, and nothing you hear is to be taken as medical advice. Sponsorship for the meeting comes in part from these companies, whom we thank: Bayer, Novartis, Johnson & Johnson, Myriad Genetics, Telix, Blue Earth Diagnostics, and Foundation Medicine. So let's begin. We have a new participant. We have two new participants tonight, and conversations with newcomers lead off our meetings. So, Jared, welcome. Appreciate you being here. I'll ask you a few questions, and then the floor will be yours for your questions. How old are you now?
I'm 73.
And where do you live?
I live in Dublin, Ireland.
How did you hear of AnCan?
I don't know, it just came up recently on my screen, and I just followed through, and that's it. No, I'm involved in a thing called Men Against Cancer, supporting prostate cancer patients here, and I'm just interested to know what else other people are doing, and how we can share in an efficient way and sympathetic way our own experiences, and not to be so isolated in our journey.
Mm. How old were you when you were diagnosed?
Just about nearly 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer, stage 4, Gleason 9. There's not many room for numbers, and at that time I thought I only a couple of months. So this is my third Christmas. So
yes.
And basically where I am now is I'm resisting the drugs. I've had SBRT, and I'm not too sure what's next. If we can confirm it's all in the bones, then I most probably take radium-223 next. But I would delight to hear if other people have been at that stage, like nearly 3 years. My PSA is doubling every month recently, and having just overcome that SBRT for two places in my body, I'm feeling really good because all the radiation is out of my system. I suffered very bad fatigue, and now I'm feeling a little bit more energized, but I don't know where I'm going, and we have to have another PSMA CAT scan shortly, and actually I'm going, I'm not too sure who's going to hear this, but I'm going for an independent review to Finland actually in 2 weeks' time.
So just to clarify, when you say you've been resisting drugs, that means you don't want to take them rather than ADT is not working for you?
No, oh. the ADT doesn't seem to be working.
Okay.
The hormone treatment doesn't seem to be working. I'm on Nubeqa, Decacaptal, and Zomika, and so now, and after the SBRT, we thought it came down initially, and we were having very great success. That was done in July, and the first 2 analyses and that were quite good, the third, and then it's just October, November, and now in December they just started multiplying from small numbers, but it's small numbers become big numbers.
So yeah, the cancer way.
Exactly. So we're looking at whether, if get confirmation, if it's all in the bones, then I gather we're going to take radium-223 and the combination that goes with that. Or if it's in the soft tissue, Some people say I might have to do Pluvicto, but that's not overly very successful and it's very expensive. And I also have an ATM gene mutation, which is another constraint in the whole thing.
So to clarify, were you diagnosed as metastatic?
Oh yeah, from day one. Yeah, I just was completely out of the blue. Stage 4, Gleason 9, the whole lot. Yeah, yeah. I thought I'd only a couple of months to live initially, you know.
I bet a lot of men in this call didn't think they'd be alive to see the end of 2025.
Exactly, but I've been very lucky, and I'm feeling really good, and hope I'm going to beat it for another while.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm going to be doing to do that, but I'm optimistic by the next 2 months. I'll either be doing Pluvicto, which I'd have to go abroad for that. We don't have it here in Ireland, and radium 223. But I'd love to hear of other people who may have been down the journey as far as I have, and maybe getting other treatments that seem to be doing the trick.
What led you to think you had prostate cancer?
I didn't. It was I was in the hospital with kidney stones, and the young girl that was operating on me, I think she stuck her finger up my bum when I was in the theater on Christmas Eve. And then I got a letter to tell me that I had an MRI in 6 months' time for my prostate. And I said it was my kidneys I was in hospital for. But anyway, all that was cut short, and I got my bloods done. And I had an unfortunate situation of my consultant never read the bloods, and my GP did. That's my practitioner. And then I got into hospital, and very quickly we found out immediately I was a very serious situation. Yeah, exactly. And it was I didn't have to go. I didn't go through any stages. I went straight to stage 4, Gleason 9, and that's the game we've been fighting since. I've had 6 sessions of chemo and 39 sessions of radiation, and then this year, then I had the SBRT in my leg and in my shoulder. That was at 10 gray, and that knocked me out completely for a long time with the radiation. I found that very difficult. Very, very serious fatigue. But I'm feeling really great now, and I don't know what the next bit is in the jigsaw, but I'm going, as I said earlier, I'm going to a place called Docrates Hospital in Helsinki. I was at a prostate cancer conference in May in Helsinki, and I met this man who said he could cure me, if you believe that. But I met a dentist who had got great success with them, so I'm going to go and see him, and he's going to do a couple of nuclear medical scans, and we'll have a good chat, and I don't have to make any decisions, but I'll be very well informed, and I'll see what I do then after that. I haven't actually, off the record, I haven't told my own people here in Dublin I'm doing this. I'm doing this privately myself.
We won't tell. But
I don't think any of them. I don't know if any of them will be on this. Will be on the YouTube for this. But anyway.
Right.
Anyway, it's just I'm just going anywhere to find out a solution. That's just, I'm just hungry to stay alive. That's it. Like the rest of you guys.
I'm curious why you trusted a guy who said he could cure you. I mean, you said it with a laugh. I would, why are you putting your life in his hands?
I've not put my life in his hands. I'm going to listen to what he comes up with, having done a couple of scans with him, and I'll compare with what I've done. No, he's a very interesting man. And he has his own private hospital, and it's a very interesting situation. I was introduced by a dentist who was very successfully looked after, and I don't know. You don't know where the answers are.
Just out of curiosity, what are your options in Ireland for?
Well, I can get all the standard medicines. I can get radium-223, but Pluvicto is, they tried it, one hospital tried it here recently. It's not approved in Ireland, and I don't think it's doing it anymore. Most people go to London or go to Germany. And it has a low, it's, I don't know, from what I've been reading, it's meant to be reasonably successful, but I have a friend who's done it. It's about $200,000 in your money to get to 6 sessions. I don't really mind if that's it, but it's not overly successful from what I've read.
Yeah,
It's hit or
it's
miss.
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot more successful than radium-223.
Well, I'm
Now,
interested to hear that.
it may be a lot less expensive to you. That I can't argue with. But
I'm not
even
worried
though,
about expense. I'm not worried about the expense. I want to know what's the right thing to do. That's all I want to do.
okay,
You
well,
know?
the right thing to do, we can't give you medical advice.
Oh, no.
But we can tell you, Jared, that from what we've seen, the Pluvicto is a lot more effective than the radium-223. The radium-223 is kind of it's a bit of a Hail Mary if people cannot expect, if they can't access Pluvicto.
Okay.
So we have very few people. We have a lot of people. I don't know how many people on here have done Pluvicto today. Do we have anybody? We've had a lot of people. I don't know if there's anyone on here today. Ben, of course. Ben's in the middle of Pluvicto. But we've got loads and loads of people who have done Pluvicto.
Okay. So just if I can interrupt one bit there, the premise under which I'm believing this is the following. If it's confirmed to be only in the bone, they're saying radium-223, but if it's in the soft tissue, it'll be Pluvicto. And the guy in Helsinki wants to do a sodium fluoride PSMA scan to reconfirm whether it's in the bone or not.
Well, wait a minute. Let's go one by one here.
Okay.
The reason why Pluvicto doesn't work if it's in the bone is because the reason why radium-223 does not work on soft tissue is because it's only sensitized to the calcium in the bone. You don't have calcium in your soft tissue. On the other hand, the Pluvicto is sensitized to anywhere that you express PSMA. And if you express PSMA, it sounds like you do because you've had scans that have been positive before.
Yes.
And it will go to any place it sees the PSMA. It doesn't care if it's bone or soft tissue or anywhere else.
Okay.
So now that's the first thing. The second thing is that you can have disease in your soft tissue, but we may not actually pick it up. So it could be sitting there. And if you have the radium-223 and we don't treat what's in the soft tissue, it's just going to come back.
Okay.
So we feel that the results from the Pluvicto are a lot more attractive. Now, I'm going to pass this to Ben to talk about it since he is going through the treatment and he's a peer and he understands the treatment. And secondly, he happens to be very smart and he happens to do a lot of homework. And so, and if you haven't seen his blogs, which explain all this in terms that people like you and me can understand, you need to go to his blogs, and maybe in a minute he will put that link to his blogs, or I'll try and do it in the chat window. That said, he didn't want me to refer to him, but I'm going to refer to him about Pluvicto because I know he knows about Pluvicto. Go ahead, Ben. Talk a little bit to Garrett about Pluvicto.
So let's just backfill a little of your history that I didn't get to. So what, you may have told us, I'm sorry. What was your PSA diagnosis?
It was about 15 or so, around that.
Uh-huh. And what is it now?
It's just at 1.
And what was the basis for their saying you were metastatic?
Well, they told me I was metastatic at the very beginning. That's why I'm Gleason 9.
How did they know?
I had biopsies. I had MRI. I don't know. I had a heap of tests anyway. I was in hospital for a week.
They didn't give you, in particular, they didn't give you a PSMA PET scan? You have not had one of those?
I've had a PSMA PET scan earlier this year.
And it confirmed,
Well,
they
it
confirmed.
confirmed I'd metastatic cancer. Yeah.
And yeah, that suggests, of course, you need to have a positive PSMA PET scan to be a candidate for Pluvicto.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because if you're not positive, then the lutetium can't find the
Right.
the cancer and all that. Yeah, I understand all that. Yeah.
So what was, I guess I don't want to get off in the weeds. I'm curious why your guy thought a sodium fluoride scan would be better than a
Yeah, so am
PSMA
I
PET scan.
actually. It's sodium fluoride,
Right.
NAF. Some people have told me this guy believes that it's more sensitive to identifying the cancer in the bone, but whatever I've read actually doesn't confirm that. But
Yeah.
that's something that he wants to do. So I said, okay, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. I'm open. Basically, this is just it's just going offside to get a completely different perspective and see what happens. And I'll digest the information. I have 1 or 2 other people that I will share it with, and then I'll go back to my own people and see what they come up with. But I'm not. I've met some people who've got some of these treatments the wrong way around. A friend of mine got the Pluvicto, and then he got radium after that, radium 223,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't seem to have any real success at all as a result. They were all done within, I'd say, 13 months of each other. The whole between the 6 and this, between both two, there are 2 sessions of 6s, and he doesn't seem any real success. But I've met someone who got radium 223 recently. I met him recently. He turns out to be an Anglican bishop, actually, but he's been going fantastic for 6 years. So, like, I don't know. You meet some people who've had everything is personalized. So, I've just met someone who's had great success without Pluvicto with radium 223, and he was Gleason 8, and I don't really know what the answer is. I know a lot about the treatments, but I don't know which is the right one at this stage for me. And that's one of the interesting things I thought when I read about AnCan and that. I said, wow, you guys are much more up to speed in America than we are here.
It's really not my place to argue, but why do you not see a doctor in the U.S., given what you just said?
Well, I don't have a doctor in the U.S. that would stand out. That I know there's a lot of doctors in Germany that I can go to. I know Germany has started off with Heidelberg and Berlin and Munich. Then that's something that I can do. There's a lot of good success here with some of the doctors, but we're dominated by.
So let me say that in terms of yes, there are some good doctors at Heidelberg and Hamburg and various, but they tend to be more in the nuclear medicine field.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
Now, because we have a young fellow who's 44 who has advanced cancer, and we've been working with him in Germany. And one of the things we found out is that in terms of medical oncologists, there aren't a lot of reputable, really top radiation oncologists in Germany. There are in Switzerland. We could send you to one or two people in Switzerland who are outstanding, who would be good quarterbacks. We could also find you very good quarterbacks or very good scrum fly halves. I have to change my analogies here.
No. The NFL is on the TV everywhere. Everyone's following
Oh,
it now.
it's on the TV everywhere. Okay, well, all right. Well, but
I used to live in Canada. I used to live in Canada myself, and
okay.
I've been at a lot of the games and everything else, Detroit and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could find you a couple of great fly halves in the US or in Switzerland, or in the UK.
Yeah, the UK.
Yes.
I have a very good guy in Belfast, a guy called Professor Joe O'Sullivan. Seems to be quite an interesting guy.
I don't know him. I mean, the people we know are the people who tend to publish.
Yeah,
who are well known. I mean, people like De Bono, who you've probably heard of yourself.
I have.
And
he's in the London Clinic or Marsden. Is he in the London Clinic, Cancer Clinic, or Marsden? I'm not too sure which one he is
Marsden.
in. Marsden, yeah.
But you know, I want to go back to Ben, and Ben, I'm just watching the time as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your time anyway. Thank you.
But I you know, I'll put my number in the my email address in the chat window. You know, we can come up with docs for you, but I get very concerned about people going to strange doctors on sort of Hail Mary basis.
Yes.
When you haven't been through the protocols yet. And there are some good protocols. And any doctor who's currently still using sodium fluoride and thinks it gives you a better result than PSMA gives me a lot of concern. We have a doctor like that up in Mayo, Rochester. And finally, after many years, he's finally agreed that, yes, he should be doing PSMA scans.
Yeah, I'm down for a PSMA scan as well.
But, you know, some of these guys are more focused on your pocket than they are on your prostate. And that can be a problem. And we're very sensitive to that. But we've got a bunch of really strong doctors that even in Europe.
I think De Bono, I've read some of his stuff. I know how to get access to him.
Oh.
Well, you know, he would be great. And I'm just trying, I can see her face, but I'm trying to remember. There are two women in Switzerland then. What's the name of that one she's always publishing? With a G.
Silke Gelason.
Yes, thank you, Gillett. Yes, that's who I'm thinking of.
What was the name?
Silke
Gelason or Gelason.
Silke. Silke Gelason is one. Thank you very much. I was just trying to pull back her name. Silke Gelason, I just put it in the chat window, is one. And then there's another woman also who's really great, but I'd have to do some. She's also in out of a Swiss hospital. And I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but you know, Silke Gelason is an excellent doctor to speak to, who's a lot closer to you. And if you want to come over to this country, we can find you docs up and down the East Coast. Some top docs, some of the best doctors. Look, Len just joined us. He's another of our moderators. Len's doctor, for example, Dr. O, fantastic. We can find you many doctors. And
okay,
I'll
pick up on I'll find out how to get onto your chat thing. I'm not too sure where that is, but I'll find out. And
okay, here's where the chat is. Okay, and you'll need to send us your email address.
Okay.
There should be three little dots. I see that you're on your telephone. but hopefully you can.
Yeah, I'll find a way of.
If you
I'm registered with Billy. It was Billy who got me all on this, and he has my email and everything else. There seems to be a Bill in your support team.
Bill Franklin.
That's who it was. Yes, exactly. He has all my
Oh,
details. Yeah.
he has
But
all your details.
yeah,
Okay. Well,
Uh,
he's off duty tonight because he's moderating the veterans speaking freely at the end of this.
okay.
So we gave
Well,
him a pass.
I must say you're very kind and thank you very much. I know some other people would love to talk,
Yeah.
but you put a lot of questions in my head anyway, and I might have to change
Okay.
some of my plans.
Yeah,
It
you see
might.
how you see how seriously we're taking this.
Oh no,
It
no,
is a really
it's when
serious
you
decision on your part.
no, but it's the one thing that caught my attention was there's a lot of groups around for prostate discussions, but it's very hard to find a group of just sort of stage 4 where it's very, very serious compared to stage 2 or 3. And that's where you need to share information and make contact with other people who've gone through this journey and asked these questions, or may have got the wrong stuff or the right stuff, and might know some
Yep.
because doctors differ and patients die.
Okay. So
Rick and his
Garrett,
wisdom set it up exactly this way.
No, I think it's
We ain't
excellent.
kidding around here.
right, Garrett, and I'm going to go, but we'll go back to Ben to the next Gent. But I'll get your email address. I'll be in touch with you.
Thank you
And
very much, Rick. And it's
just to let you know, 95% of the people that come into our group refer us to other people or would recommend us to other people. So
well,
you
that's
got
what
a
I'm
good
hoping
group
to
of
do. If
people.
how this works out, I'd love to, because I'm involved with a lot of other people where we do presentations and try and support one another. But I'm the most advanced in the group that I'm with, and I'm basically looking for something for myself first, and if I can share it with someone else, I'm only delighted to do it, because that's part of my mission in this journey. I know I'm not going to beat it, but I'm going to hold it back and maybe share
Mhm.
some with other people. I get a bit of a kick out of that.
That's why we're here.
Anyway, to all the other people, I'm sorry for taking up so much time, but
No, no.
thank you for your patience.
New
I
guys get
appreciate
2
it.
scoops. We give extra time to the new guys. And
Thank you.
you are welcome. And on that subject,
Yeah, fuck, that's
sorry. Um, uh, I can't, hang on.
Dan Larson.
Yes, thank you. So Don, good evening.
Don, mute, Don.
Come on.
So we're gonna ask you questions
Here.
like we just asked Jared. Um, how old are you now, Don?
84,
And where do you live?
Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
How did you hear of AnCan?
Through my friend Jim Aiken, right below me, right here.
How old were you when you were diagnosed?
82.
What had led you to think you were prostate cancer? You had prostate cancer.
Well, I was out playing golf, and I belonged to a men's league and playing on Monday nights. And I got out of the golf cart, and I went to get a club, and my leg gave out from underneath me, and I crashed to the ground. And I didn't think anything of it. I just got up and dusted myself off and felt like a fool for falling down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pain hurt for a week, and I played golf again the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, it was the end of July in 2023, and I played, and it was hard walking up the tee box to go up and hit a ball, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived through that, and then the following week, I got up in the morning. Well, I didn't get up. I couldn't get up. It hurt so bad.
Mm-hmm.
My left leg.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in the car and I drove to the emergency room,
Mm-hmm.
and precariously I got out to the car. I still don't know how I got out there, but I made it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I got down there, and the doctor said, "How did you get here today?" Well, they had done X-rays and stuff when I got to the hospital,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
so he said, "How'd you get here?" And I said, "I drove the car." He said, "Well, how did you get in the building?" I said, "I walked." He says, "My God," he says, "you must be Superman," because I had cracked my femur. So then that's when they found the prostate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they before they did the operation to put a pin from up by my hip to my knee, they did a biopsy and discovered the prostate cancer then. And
They
then
did
they
a
did
biopsy.
go ahead.
Where was the biopsy? Was it in the bone or the prostate?
It was, where was the prostate?
Where was the biopsy done? Did they biopsy your bone
Yeah,
at the site?
yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And so then I was in the hospital for 4 days, and then I came home. Yeah, take two and call me in the morning, you know.
Yeah.
I could walk up and down stairs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I was using a walker for a bit, and then I had a cane, and
Yeah.
then I didn't play any more golf. I haven't
Yeah.
played golf since that time.
Yeah. You found it the hard way.
Yeah,
So what was your so you have not had or have you had a biopsy in your prostate or just in the bone? Have you
just
had a prostate biopsy?
I don't know.
Okay. What was your PSA when you were diagnosed?
Off the Richter scale.
That in the thousands?
Yeah, 2000 something. And so yeah, gave me all that good news.
So
And
you
then
didn't uh-huh. You
then
didn't hear anything about a Gleason score?
no, I didn't know anything about that at all.
Okay. Okay. So what kind of treatment have you gotten?
I've done radiation, 5 sessions of radiation, and then I take Yerlida and Eliquis, and that's all I take.
I forgot to ask you where you're being treated.
At the Mayo Clinic in Eau Claire here.
Okay. So the radiation was it directed to to the the lesions in the bone, or was it directed
Yeah,
to the prostate?
yes.
So you got
I got the little tattoo on my stomach, you know, and then they did the radiation off of that.
what kind of scans have you had? Did you have a PET scan?
Yes, I've had that.
You had a PSMA PET scan?
I don't know. Tell them,
No.
Jim.
No, No, he has not had a PSMA.
Not that I know of.
Did the radiation help with your pain?
Yeah. But then I had an accident. Everything was going along fine, and I was moving here and there, and I could finally drive the car and all this here stuff. Well, I was driving the car. I drove home from the hospital after I had the pin put on my for my femur. I drove home, but I'm a photographer, and on April 24th of 2024, my main subject is bald eagles, and I
hang on. We have to stick to prostate cancer.
right, I know, but I'm getting to that.
Okay.
But my battery went out on my camera, and then I went to the car and got a fresh battery, and on the way back, I stumbled and lunged forward and smashed my head right in the side of this barn. And I wore a brace from my neck to my belly button from April of 2024 to November. But other than that, I'm moving along. My PSA is below the line.
Yeah, it's being managed with you say the Lupron and the Erlita.
Yeah, Eliquist and Erlita.
He's on Lupron too.
Pardon?
He's on ADT.
Have you had genetic testing done?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jim, do you know? Because he had.
No, he has not.
You have
I haven't talked to him about that yet. I'll tell him how to do that.
Let me jump in just a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the issues here is that Dr. Burns is not a prostate medical oncologist. And we feel very strongly that you need to be supervised by a prostate medical oncologist. It's hugely important. So for example, if you would have done some of these tests we're talking about. You would have done a test, for example, to see if you inherited any mutations from your parents, because that can guide treatment. You should have had, according to standard of care, you should have had tests done on the lesions, on the biopsies that they took. Now, it's possible they were done and they didn't tell you, but the doctor needs to be sitting down with you. So the doctor's going at this in a sort of different way. One of the things that we would should, let me, hold on one second. Eddie, are you still in the meeting? Eddie?
Yes, I am.
You want to be in the other room, in the Schmier room, okay? Not in this.
I don't know. I don't know how to get there. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if somebody will put that link for you in the chat window, or just bear with me when I finish speaking, I'll put the link. That meeting is happening right now.
Right.
But it's in our other room. So just give me a second. Let me finish speaking to Don, and I'll put something in the chat window. Or if somebody else can put the link to the Schmier room in the chat window, that would help me.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Thanks.
Just keep an eye out, and we'll put a link in there for the other room. Okay.
Okay, deal. Thank you very much.
So we would like you, if it's possible to go and visit with Dr. Elizabeth Heath, who's at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, because she's an expert in this field. She's also a delightful lady. Mr. Blomquist, I think did I see his name?
Yes, you did, sir. I just saw her a couple days ago.
And
she's fantastic.
She's fantastic. And previous to Barry coming to us, he wasn't with the right doctor, and we moved him to the right doctor. Now, we're not saying your doctor is doing anything incorrect, but we don't know. And he's certainly not doing some things he should have been doing from what we're hearing, but we don't see your records. So we are going to put in the chat window, and I know that Jim will help out and Jim will take some of this down as well. We're going to put the link to Dr. Heath. And she is the lady. She is now the senior oncologist, medical oncologist for all the medical oncologists. She's basically Dr. Burns' boss. And she specializes in prostate cancer. And I think the first thing we need to do, if you're willing to travel to Rochester, is to get a visit with her.
It's 100 miles. It's not far.
Okay, so let me put that link in the chat window for you. I don't know how easy it's going to be. I don't know what Dr. Burns is going to say, but I think that we can make a case, maybe with Jim's help, because some of these procedures, there are some things we could do with learning and get in and see. And she may say, Dr. Burns is doing just fine. Go back to Dr. Burns and come see me once a year. But we need her eye on you. Okay. One way or the other. And let me put her link. Elizabeth Heath at Mayo. She's just delightful. Oh, and I just saw another name I just saw the name I was looking for Jared. Jared, are you still with us? Yes, you are. Okay. I'm going to put a note. I'm going to give you this is Dr. Heath. Dr. Elizabeth Heath. So there you go. And again, let me put that out to everybody. And Jared, one of the doctors in London that I was thinking of, her name just popped up when I was looking for Elizabeth Heath, is Heather Payne. She's really, really terrific, Heather Payne. And I'm going to reply to you in the chat window. Good job for finding it. This is another excellent GU medical oncologist in London. She's at UC London. She's at University College. So excuse me for running around different places, but I just saw it. So there you go. That I just put it in there for you. I'll put it in if anybody else wants it. So that would be my advice to you right now. I mean, yes, it's fine. Yes, you're doing. It seems like you're doing quite well. You need a PSMA scan pretty quickly to see how far you've progressed, if we need other treatment. But there's also the possibility of giving you some intermittent therapy, maybe taking you off treatment for a while since you're doing so well and you've been on for 3 years. And these are the sorts of things that you could discuss with Dr. Heath, but Dr. Burns, it's going to be out of his league, out of his depth. He's going to turn it down immediately.
Sorry, were you talking to me in that regard? Yeah, Garrod
No,
Bradley.
I was
To
talking
Dan.
to you in that
You're talking to
regard
Dan.
too.
I got the other information. Thanks very much.
Right.
That's
And I was talking to you as well, because you should also be thinking about, do I need it? Probably where your disease is going, you're probably not in the right place for a holiday. But Don Larson may be in the right place for a holiday. So that these are things that we would love for you to discuss with your doctor, Don.
Dr. Burns.
Yeah, I'm going to get this down. Then yeah, that's a. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
we need you
should talk to Dr. Burns, right?
Yes. Well, yes, I think you have to go through Dr. Burns. I don't know, Jim Aiken, any thoughts? I mean, you know, well, what about Barry Blomquist? I mean, what do you think, Barry, about switching within Mayo from one doc to another? I know that you started with our friend Kwan, and you got yourself over, fortunately, to Dr. Heath. But do you have any words of advice for Don and Jim about how he might be able to get in to see a specialized GU medical oncologist?
Well, I got in to see Heath because of you, Rick. When I contacted her office, I used AnCan as a reference, and miraculously they gave me an appointment, and I also got at least two other guys here from Minnesota that I've been. One has seen her now also, so that's been really wonderful. The way she kind of works to avoid the politics issues is she kind of oversees what's going on with everything that you're doing, but doesn't necessarily pull you out of urology, and kind of lets them coast along, and she kind of guides you as to what you really should do or shouldn't do. And so that's the best thing I can suggest is to try to contact Mayo and see if they can set up an appointment with her, and use AnCan and you as a reference.
Yeah, and you're free to do that, Jim and Don. You're free to use our name. You're free to use AnCan. I think that the argument for you is, I want to see a genitourinary medical oncologist, not just a general oncologist. I mean, Dr. Burns doesn't even list prostate on his areas of interest. He lists, I just saw it, where is it? He lists, breast. They all list breast. He lists breast, and he lists blood, but he doesn't list prostate. And you need to see a prostate doc, because they're the ones. Here's the thing: it's moving. I'm sure that somebody like Dr. Burns is right on top of what's happening right now in breast, because breast moves very quickly. But one of the other cancers that moves really, really quickly, because it's so widespread internationally, is prostate. And these doctors don't have the time to stay up on everything that's going on. And there aren't that many who specialize in prostate, ridiculous as it sounds, largely because a lot of the urologists grab that business when they shouldn't be. And so you have every right at Mayo to say, I want to see what we call a genitourinary medical oncologist, a GU medical oncologist. And the person who best fits that bill now at Mayo is little Dr. Heath, who is just a bundle of energy and a delight, as Barry said.
Where did he go?
He sometimes is at the mercy of a very rural internet connection.
Oh,
So you think, does this seem something you could do, Don, or does it just seem like too big an ask, too much to think about?
I'll help him. I've had to go through that process myself, trying to get HUU oncologists in my team. And I think the key is you got to have them on the team. And the politics are a problem. The issue is he's never seen the biopsy.
Yeah.
He don't even
Right.
know his Gleason score. They've never
Yeah.
told him. And we tried to find it on the portal. We could not find the Gleason. We could not find the biopsy report anywhere on the portal.
Right.
And we physically went to the doctor yesterday, to Dr. Burns, and said, can you direct us to a copy of the biopsy? And why isn't I have a PSMA? And he came back, he didn't address the biopsy at all, but he did come back and said, oh, you don't need a PSMA. We're doing the CT scans.
Did he really? Well, I mean, there you go. There you go. If you ever needed an ironclad case, not to keep seeing that guy.
I'll advise him on what I think he might be able to do through the system.
That'd be great.
So I'm sorry, guys. My computer switched my camera and it switched my microphone without me asking it to. I think there's, as Ben says, that's an absolute reason. And if you get pushback, write to me and I'll write to Dr. Elizabeth and we'll get it done. Because if I tell her that we've got Mayo patients in Eau Claire who are metastatic and their doctor's refusing them a PSMA scan, she'll take care of business. That's all we got to tell her. And that the patient wants to see her. It'll happen in minutes. So Jim, keep us posted. I think we've got our marching orders. Ben, I suggest Jimmy's friend Paul Schomer is in the room now, so we need to take him, and then we need to get on to our people.
So, in the words of Betty Davis, it's going to be a bumpy ride.
It's going to be
people. 14 people have wanted to speak tonight.
I know.
Has had a chance to.
I know. So, Mr. Shomo, we can address you quickly, and then we know you had trouble getting in before. Are you with us now? Speak up, Paul Schomer, if you're with us, or else we will need to move on. Jimmy, is he here with us?
I'm texting him. I'll give him one shot.
Okay, I saw him in the room. I saw him in the room a second ago.
I can't see. Here we go.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Turn off your computer. Stay on the phone and turn off your computer, Paul.
Okay, stand by.
So I assume he's caller 1.
Is he?
If he's on the phone and also on his computer. Oh, right, he might be caller 2.
Paul, are you there?
Okay. I tell you what, Paul, I will stay as long as it takes. Let's get to our guys and we'll do an intake with you after everything else. But I'll be here. Jimmy, I'll leave it in your hands to handle that. Okay?
I'll stay with you. Thanks for all that. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead with let's get to the people who need time.
Yeah, Len has made a very salient point about the bone meds. Len, you want to speak up?
He's on Zometa. He mentioned he was on Zometa, I think.
Okay, good.
Is that right, Paul? Do you know? Don, do you know? Didn't you say you were on Zometa? Or was that not you? That might have been Garrett. Don, can you hear us?
I never heard of Zometa.
You never heard of Zometa. How about
I
then
take
you-
Zometa. Yeah, I do.
how about Xgeva? Have you heard of Xgeva?
No,
Prolia. Have you heard of Prolia?
no.
Then I stand corrected, and Len, you're 100% right. We need to find out why you're not on a bone strengthener. You're not getting standard of care treatment, Don, and that's a good pickup, Len. Somebody mentioned Zometa during the meeting today. I think maybe it was
me. Gary Bradley here. I mentioned it.
Gary
Yeah,
mentioned it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it every 3 months.
Okay. Okay.
And I get every 3, I think it's 3 or 6 months, and I get Decapeptyl as well.
Okay. Okay.
As part of the ADT.
Okay. All right. So yes, you should be on a bone strengthener. Thank you very much, Leonardo.
Yeah, thanks, Len.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you for your patience, Bob Y. It is your turn.
Hey, thanks very much. Let me just run through this quickly. I was last in the AnCan meeting 2 weeks ago exactly. I couldn't make last week's meeting because of a medical appointment, but I just wanted to run down what had happened. When I last spoke to you, I just had a PSMA, I'm Gleason score 9. I had just had a PSMA PET scan, and my urologist, Dr. Donan at UCLA, took a look at the results and said, cancer seems to be completely contained within the prostate. There is one spot showing up on 6th vertebra, but I don't really think that's necessarily anything particularly, but let's get a spinal MRI and we'll follow it and see if it, but it looks like surgery would still be a possibility for you. Fortunately, I had an appointment 2 days later, my first appointment with Dr. Amar Kishan at UCLA, who is a radiological oncologist. Kishan and his associate, Dr. Jesus Juarez. And they spent an hour with me and my wife. And Kishan is a pretty impressive guy, as I think Rick has noted. Kishan took a look at the same PSMA PET scan and said, no, that's almost entirely probably metastatic prostate cancer on your 6th vertebra. That looks to me to be metastasis of your cancer. It's lit up like a Roman candle. And so he took my history, my family history and all that sort of thing. And he said, it does not appear because of your age and your PET scan that surgery is indicated. In fact, radiation is indicated and hormone therapy. And he prescribed Orgovix, which I started on a few days later. And I've already gone in to have a spacer inserted in preparation for radiation therapy in January. I also went to meet for originally it was just going to be a second opinion with Dr. Edwin Posadas at Cedars-Sinai. And another really impressive guy. He spent a full hour with me and my wife listening to my health history, my family cancer history, and analyzing my entire situation to figure out if Orgovix alone was indicated or Orgovix plus a second drug. He basically completely agrees with Kishan's prognosis or treatment plan, and he was just probing around the edges to see if maybe a second drug was indicated. He said, perhaps not yet. Let's stick with Kishan's. He respects Kishan, even though they're different institutions. And he thought Kishan's treatment plan is spot on. So I've been back for a spinal MRI just last night and consulted with a neurologist at UCLA. It does appear that it's metastasis of the prostate cancer on my vertebra. So I'm going in for a mapping and simulation this Friday at UCLA, and I'll be, starting radiation therapy in January. It's since I last spoke at the group, my situation went from probably surgery to definitely not surgery, radiation and ADT. And I have a couple of what seem to be really sharp doctors agreeing on that. And so Kishan has taken over as the lead on my care, and the urologist, Dr. Donan, has ceded that spot to Dr. Kishan. So Dr. Kishan will be, as you referred earlier, quarterbacking my care from this point on. And Posadas is happy to consult and render an opinion. I also got back my color genomic study, and they said we did not find an increased risk for hereditary cancer in the genes we looked at. So I don't know. And the one other interesting thing I would note to all is my youngest son, Ethan, who is very deft at these sort of things, attended both my hour-long meeting with Kishan and my hour-long meeting with Posadas via the telephone, recorded the entire interviews, used one artificial intelligence program to transcribe it, and then used another artificial intelligence program he asked it to create a complete detailed summary of everything the doctor said. And it did it. It is remarkable. If you had asked me to put together that summary that accurate, it would have taken me 2 or 3 days. And it did it. It's extremely accurate. Everything that was said in those meetings is organized, analyzed, summed up, put into Roman numerals, into different categories. Remarkable. So I appreciate my son's work on that. So anyway, that's where I am now.
Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, so a couple of things. First of all, I think it's real interesting to me that they found no inherited mutations, given your family history.
Yes, which is extensive, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure Posadas found the same thing.
Well, Posadas said, I think your father's twin brother's bladder cancer is an interesting statistical factor there. But Posadas did not rule out a genetic connection. But I'm just reporting what the color study said. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah. The thing with the color study, and you might ask Kishan to run it again through one of the panels that the UCLA uses. Color study is only only a 32 panel. There are some genes mutations we are aware of that can be influential that aren't on that, especially NBN, which is an Eastern European gene, but the big ones are there. So if it didn't show anything on color, there's nothing super significant. Here's what I'd like to say, and we have a lot of people, so I know we need to move on, and we also want to check if anybody else wants to talk to you. First of all, Posadas is great. Clearly you had a great understanding with him. I suggested to you to see Rettig as well, because he's in the same institution as Kishan. And I think you'd also like him. Herb Courtney, where are you? Are you here? Put your hand up. Put your microphone on. There he is. Herb, put your microphone on.
Yeah.
Give us the 30-second elevator speech on Dr. Rettig.
Well, he's great. He turned my treatment around. I was at odds with the hematology oncologist, and he got right on it, and we're on the same path, and I'm doing great. It's been maybe year and a half, 2 years I've been seeing him, and I couldn't be better.
Yeah, thank you. He's really good. So and the only reason I suggest you see him as well, because if you have the same rapport with him, it makes it so much easier if your med-onc is in the same institution as your radiation oncologist.
Okay.
And he knows us. You can tell him you're an AnCan guy, and I think you'll like him. He's very, very amenable. I only know Posadas from having heard him present a few times. I know Reddick because I've met him a bunch of times, and he gets consistently good reviews from people that we send to him. So Bing Crosby is with him, and we have huge respect for Bing. He's really Mike Crosby. He's a terrific guy. He actually treats Mike for a blood cancer and his advanced prostate cancer.
Sure.
So
I'll call him.
Reddick and then decide which way you want to go.
Sure.
Those were the two main things. But the other thing I want to say is, we don't do this that often, but I have to say you did hear it here first. I mean, we didn't want you to consider surgery. We wanted you to get a good opinion and go see a strong radiation oncologist. I'm not impressed with Donan personally. He's not a doctor that I would send somebody to see based on how he's treating you. And, a 73-year-old gent putting him through surgery, not recognizing a distant cancer. These are the things we don't like. Now, I will tell you, there's some fantastic urologists at UCLA. But he won't be going down as one that we'd be sending people to. So the bottom line, we're thrilled for you. Anybody want to say anything else to Bob? Move it along, Mr. Nathan, move it along.
Dr. Donan was very helpful, and he was very gracious in handing off care to Dr. Kishan. So it's I have nothing bad to say about any of these guys. They're all really good.
Okay, I don't have anything bad. He just didn't get
No,
he didn't get the right treatment for you. That's the problem.
Okay, Jerry is next.
Good evening, gentlemen, and thank you for taking my call. All I need, just kind of an update. I'm got 9 sessions of radiation left. I've completed 30, and it's salvage radiation. I'm 2 months into taking Orgovitz, and I think I've got 4 more months to go. I did get gene testing done, and there is a CHEK2 gene that shows up as being problematic. And so basically the only question I have, because I'm actually doing pretty well. The question I have is, with that gene, is this something that I should be blasting out to all nieces and nephews that they should start watching for symptoms, or is that something, so what? So thank you.
Great question.
Go ahead, Ben. This is
no. I was just murmuring that it was a great question, and I do not know the answer. I was hoping one of the other mods would.
No, I have a few ideas. Len, do you have any input on CHEK2?
CHEK2. I'm sorry, I missed that. Is that germline CHEK2?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it's a tumor suppressor. Yeah, I mean, I think that I would certainly mention it to, as you said, nieces and nephews, children, whatever. Yeah. Just something to keep an eye on.
Okay. Other than that, I am doing well. And
Jerry, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me just put in my 2 cents. So CHEK2 is in the HRR family. And so it's oftentimes called out for treatment. I think it's included in all of the PARP inhibitor treatments. The problem is we don't really think that you're going to do very well with a PARP inhibitor. So PARP inhibitor is a very specific drug for certain mutations. And when it was approved by the FDA, they said one of the mutations that CHEK2 responds to is PARP, but it isn't really the case. It was really a factor of how that trial was designed. It's just like the ATM mutation that Garrett Bradley mentioned at the beginning. Now, the one thing that's in my mind with CHEK2 is I have a feeling, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that it affects how you respond to Pluvicto. I can't remember if you respond better or you respond worse. Does that ring a bell with anybody? There are certain mutations that make you respond better to Pluvicto and certain mutations that make you respond worse. And I think CHEK2 might be included in that.
Fits in the family of ATM, right? We know ATM is a good sign for Pluvicto. I don't think it was you who told me that.
Is a good sign or is not a good sign?
I thought you had told me that certainly for conventional radiation, ATM mutation is a good thing.
Yeah. I seem to think it's a positive thing, but I'd have to go. I can't look right now, but I seem to think it might be a positive thing. But I do think, yes, you should inform your family because CHEK2 can result in certain cancers. Go ahead, Jeff Markey.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that nieces and nephews may not need to be tested. What you want to test are all of your direct relatives first. If their uncles, if their parents, the parent that's related to you does not have CHEK2, then the nieces and nephews don't have to be checked. It doesn't pass past that generation. So are your sisters and brothers still alive?
Yes.
Well, if they are tested, then the children don't have to be tested unless they come up positive.
Okay. Good thought.
And I'm not 100% certain, but you call color, and since you have CHEK2, they may be. I think they will test your siblings for free.
Okay. Well, I sent in 2 different color samples, and both came back with some message unable to check. So this is through the doctor that I've found the CHEK2. Color was absolutely no help to me.
Okay, so, okay. All right, well.
Ben, just looking at some of my notes indicating that CHEK2 is one type of variant that is picked up in clonal hematopoiesis chip, which means it may not have anything to do with his tumor.
Okay.
So I don't know how they would, work that up to determine if it's clonal hematopoiesis of indeterminate potential, that's what CHIP stands for, or if it's, a real
thing. So
a real variant in your tumor. Yeah.
If you got this test through your doctor's office, did they set up a consult with a genetic counselor for you?
Yes, they did.
And have you had that?
Yeah.
And what did did the genetic counselor recommend you inform other people?
Yes, but it was pretty widespread who they wanted informed.
Well, I would go with what if the genetic counselor advised you to inform, I would inform them.
Okay.
I would go with the genetic counselor. That's their expertise, and that's why you see them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the other question we had is when he's done on January 7th, we kind of want to move along to our plans, kind of pick up. Is there any problem with traveling since he's had all this radiation and stuff? They say he's going to bounce back pretty quick from the fatigue about a week afterwards. Is that true?
Cynthia, we can't give you medical advice. Okay. Oh, I certainly cannot. Some of the other, there are doctors in this room, including one who has his hand up. So we're going to talk to him.
Well, has that been anybody's experience that they have bounced back pretty quickly?
And he may have an opinion. We can talk about our own experience.
Yeah, that's what we're asking.
And I was about to do that. So after I had all of my radiation, I was pretty good. I mean, I exercised every day during it. I had my strength. I got my strength back. And really, you know, I did the traveling whenever I was ready. I mean, what happens with the sort of radiation you've had is it can leave your blood counts a little low. So make sure you test your blood counts when you've done with your radiation and see how you feel.
Okay.
And ask your radiation oncologist, am I okay to travel? For me, I was fine to travel. Dr. Russ, what have you had your hand up about check 2, and you may have something to say about traveling after radiation.
Well, I mean, we went around the bush, but you finally nailed it. I mean, if somebody tells you you have some abnormality in the germline testing, then you're at a cancer center, they would do a risk assessment for you and you need a geneticist. So you answered that, and that's why I had my hand up. So I agree 100%. Related to the radiation, I worked every day, had no problems, and I see no issues with traveling. The problem with radiation is the consequences of can be long-term. So I think the immediate reaction is fatigue mostly, and I see no reasons that you couldn't travel.
Thank you.
Let me say something about check 2. You know, if you want to differentiate it from chip mutations, you know, if it stands alone by itself and it doesn't have any other chip mutations like TET2 or DNMT3A, and like I had a whole bunch of them in conjunction, and the variant allele frequency is very low, I wouldn't worry about it. If it's a high VAF and you have check 2 by itself, then it's more concerning. So if it's just a chip mutation, as Len mentioned, it usually is in combination with many others, and they all go together. Very rarely do you see chip mutations one by itself.
Again, I think I would say let's just rely on your
genetic counselor.
And if the genetic counselor would have looked at that, and if they said inform people, we should inform people. Then Ben, let's move on to whoever's next.
Thank you again.
You're muted, Ben.
Yes. Next is Bob Alvord.
Hi, and Merry Christmas to everybody. A quick update. It's been a long time since I've done that. 10 years ago, I had prostate cancer, brachytherapy, 0.2 nadir, 0.2 nadir. Fast forward 10 years later, in March of this year, diagnosed as having a stage 4 metastatic with cancer to pelvic lymph node, L2 lumbar spine, and suspicious ribs. That's never really been conclusive and not actionable. So initially saw a urologist at Sutter and joined this group. And thank you, Rick, because I was able to self-refer to UCSF. Dr. Rahul is my quarterback. And anyways, I'm bouncing around a little bit here. My recurrence PSA was doubling, and when I started ADT, it went up to 3.71. So I've continued on Lupron and apalutamide. I thought about Orgovix and darolutamide, but Dr. Rahul said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going with that, and my gut feeling is because I'm reacting fairly well to that regimen right now. And then also Dr. Rahul referred me to Dr. Roach, Dr. Mack for SBRT to pelvic lymph node and to L2. And thank you again for that too, because I got two of the best, doctors in the world in their field. So UCSF did an overread of the PSMA PET where Sutter had like 7 or 8 mets. UCSF narrowed it down to oligometastatic disease, and that's why SBRT only to pelvic lymph node and to the lumbar. Had biopsy in May, which confirmed pelvic lymph node metastasis. The radiation SBRT was done in September of this couple months ago. PSA has been undetectable since May 1st, so about 8 months now. I test PSA every month. And the pelvic lymph node decreased from 13 millimeters down to 7. So, and everything else was unchanged. I wake up with a stiff lower back every morning, but as soon as I get moving around, that's all seems to resolve. I also signed up with physical therapy, and I recommend it to anybody to strengthen your lower limbs, especially, and balance. So I go every week, plus I do their assigned exercises every day. Plus I bought a elliptical, so I do that every day as well. So everything seems good. Had a CT scan in November. No change in the bones. PSA monthly. They're going to have a CT scan every 6 months. DEXA scan scheduled for April of next year, and maybe looking at a drug holiday in 18 to 24 months. So everything seems to be under control. I can't thank you enough. I know that Sutter wanted to over-treat me, sending me right into Pluvicto and chemo right off the bat. Rick, you saved me. All I had to do is name drop, and I was able to self-refer. So I can't thank everybody enough that everything is stable at this point. So I'm just going to stay the course. And that's where I'm at right now. And thank you so much.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. We're delighted to hear that outcome. I just have one small recommendation for you. Back in the day, 2009 or 2010, I don't use the I word much, but it was largely down to the work I did. We created an exercise counseling program at UCSF through the patient center. get yourself an appointment with whoever's doing that exercise counseling and that have them make some suggestions for you. They are basically like your cheerer, your cheerleader. They're not your trainer, but it's to get you to make sure you're set up for the right exercise. And so I strongly recommend you make that. The appointments are free, and it was down to the work we did back in the day.
One couple other things. I did get gynecomasty, so I had a quick 15 minutes of radiation done to my breasts using neutron beam. And also, curiously, I developed Raynaud's syndrome in the last 6 months. So anytime my right hand is exposed to any kind of cold, the blood just runs out of your fingertips. And it's just real curious. I don't know if it's some of the course of medicine that I'm on, or just being naturally having cardiovascular disease and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, so
just throwing that out.
Let me address that really quickly because we got to move on. We got so many people, but yes, Raynaud's disease I know very well. I've lived with it for a long time. Happens to skinny people. It's a pain in the you know what.
Yes,
it's not pleasant. You know, your fingers. So yes, I don't have any solutions other than keep your core warm. If you keep your core really warm, it works better. What was the other thing you said? Gynecomastia. Good.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. For the Raynaud's, I do have Dr. Warm heated gloves, battery heated gloves, very effective. So I got that
move
off
on.
Amazon.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you. And be sure to donate to the cause, by the way.
Oh yes, we need to do a thank you, Mr. Alvord. We need to do a pitch. Should we do the pitch right now since he gave me an entry? By the way, there's no camera free, so that's why you can't see me, but that's okay. You don't need to see me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank Bob for mentioning that. We are going through our fundraising. We only do it once a year, although we may start to do it twice. It's right now. All of you have been getting the emails. Many of you have donated. If you have, thank you. If you have not yet, please consider it. Overall, only 3% are donating of the people we reach, which isn't enough. It is much higher in this group. And so again, thank you. If you can stretch a little bit, I have a feeling that we're going to lose somewhere between 25 to 40% of our funding this year. So please do whatever you can for us, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
It's a great update, Bob. And thank you, Rick. Stephen Wade is next.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. On November 18th, I passed my 5-year anniversary of diagnosis. Next Monday will be my 5-year anniversary for my prostatectomy. In the 5 years, I've had 2 PSMA PETs that were clean. I have my only therapy or treatment has been, I've had 5 injections of Eligard, Leuprolide, and that seems to work. I'm adverse to radiation because I am BRCA2 and my numbers were horrible. I had a Gleason of 9, 5 plus 4. But since my surgery, the highest my PSA has gone is 0.86. It's 0.11 right now. And my next PSMA PET is scheduled for March 17th. And Rick, I sent you a more detailed with an attachment. I hope you got the attachment too. So.
Yeah, I did see. I saw your BRCA. You know, my concern let me hold on a minute because I updated that a little bit earlier on. Ben, do you have any questions you wanted to ask Stephen? I think I forwarded his
Well,
records to you.
I noticed that you said you were averse to radiation because it leaves lasting effects, and that you were ready to take on chemo, which also, as you should realize, leaves lasting effects. You're very likely to have peripheral neuropathy, which is a much more likely side effect with chemo than are the side effects associated with radiation. You know, if your goal is to avoid side effects, you're actually better off with radiation. Neither one is going to be side effect free.
Okay. The concern is, okay, you mentioned that side effect, and that's understandable. You can recover from chemotherapy. Radiation does permanent damage to your body, and that's why if I do radiation, I'd rather do the Meridian targeted treatment, which is only 5 sessions versus 33 or 39. And they won't do that, of course, until they find cancer in my body to target. And my pets have been clean.
Steve, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Because right now, you don't need it, which is great. Secondly, chemo does do permanent damage to your body. And we can connect you to people who have permanent damage from chemo.
Okay.
So does radiation. None of these treatments come with a free pass, unfortunately. Some people get a free pass. There are people who have no issues, but for some people there are. And I think that what Ben is saying is that if you are a candidate for radiation and you can get away with targeted radiation like you're talking about, you're better off than going down the chemotherapy route, because the chemotherapy is systemic and can result in side effects that you may not recover from. So, but the point for you right now is that you're not in that situation. Now, what I will say is this: I still feel you need a genitourinary medical oncologist in charge of your care. You're getting, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're getting Eligard shots every 9 months. Is that correct?
Correct.
And are you getting anything else?
No, the only other prescription I take is hydrochlorothiazide.
Yeah, okay. So that's unusual, because with the background that you have and we're going back now 3 years, 4 years, have you discussed coming off of how long you're going to be on these Eligard shots?
We've had conversations about that. But again, they seem to, and they seem to work, right? Because they drive my testosterone down and my PSA goes down.
Hold on.
Yes.
What and your PSA right now is 0.1, less than 0.1?
It's 0.1.
Okay. So,
but it's been non-detectable is okay, briefly is less than a year ago. So
yeah, but if you are on long-term hormone therapy, then we've got to ask, why aren't you on doublet therapy? Because most men today should be on doublet therapy. It tells me that Dr. Hennigan isn't very familiar with the space.
No, he's offered that up.
Okay, so why aren't you doing that? The second thing I want to say is we don't think anybody should be on 9-month shots. They don't work.
No,
What
no,
hap-
they're 3-month shots, but it lasts for the 9 months. You understand me? They're 3-month shots.
He's giving
The
you
3-month dosages.
He's giving you a 90-day Lupron shot, but you don't have to. But your testosterone is staying low for 90 days.
Yeah, and then then it shoots back up into the 700s, and then my PSA comes up as well.
Okay, how often are you testing your testosterone?
Testosterone PSA every 4 months.
So he gives you a shot for 90 days, and you don't test for 4 months. And when you test at the end of that 4 months, your testosterone is still undetectable or very low.
Yes.
Okay, it's the old Kaiser method. We call the Kaiser method, but where Kaiser only gave you a shot when they saw your testosterone move. The problem is that if you don't go in for another 3 months, your testosterone is on the move, it's stimulating the cancer, and you're not going to get another shot for another 4 months. It's not the right way to manage. So, if it were me, and I realize it's difficult down in where you are in Mississippi, but I think you need I think you need to run this past a quarterback. I think you need to have them have their input as to whether you need doublet therapy. And we don't want to see you in a situation where your disease starts to get away from you, and then we can't find the right treatment. Len, what would you say on this situation?
You're suggesting that he have a more frequent Lupron injection, Rick? Is that it?
No, because he's getting a 90-day depot shot.
Right.
But they're not testing him. They're only testing him every 4 months. And in the past,
that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Exactly.
It occurs to me also that agonists have as we know, what is it called? The reason you take bicalutamide. If you wait till the agonist wears off and then you reinitiate it, I wonder if you will get another surge the way you do when you first initiate it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he needs.
I've never flared after getting that shot. So after the first shot that I got, and so we're going back to 2022, he tested my PSA and testosterone 30 days later, expecting a flare, which I've read is common. And instead of flaring, it tanked. So and I've been consistent in that. But okay, so let's go back to, you're calling it a couplet therapy? Is that what you're calling it?
I'm sorry? Doublet.
Good. So you're saying doublet therapy is what you're
Well, I'm saying a couple of things. I'm saying that why is he not prescribing doublet therapy? I'm also
he has proposed that, and I've said no. So now I'm listening to you guys, and now I'm asking you, and I know you're not medical professionals, but what are likely therapies for someone in my situation?
Well, if you still need treatment, if you still need to be on hormone therapy, I mean, have we ever seen you have distant metastases?
No, no.
Then, and how long have you been on this therapy altogether? How long have you been on hormone therapy?
Okay, I think I had my first. Yes, I had my first shot August 15th, 2022.
Okay, so
and
what I would be saying if it were me is I'd be saying, let's take a break. Let's stop everything altogether and let's see where I'm at. I don't want to be on this forever.
Okay. Because I will say, you know, the only side effects I have are hot flashes, which are manageable, although my wife takes great pleasure in me having a hot flash, and insomnia, and I can deal with the insomnia. So
okay, well, I guess what I'm saying is you need a second opinion on whether you still need to be on hormone therapy, given that originally you were a T3A and we're treating you because we were concerned about positive margins. And the question, and you didn't want radiotherapy. So the question is, do you still need to be on it? And I would be seeking a second opinion from a GU medical oncologist. You know, maybe go see Szmulewicz in Miami. Go visit with Dr. Szmulewicz.
I'd rather, okay. For me personally,
okay. We have to move on, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah. For me personally, if you could recommend someone like at Sparrow in Lansing, Michigan, my hometown where I was born, I have people I can stay with up there, and it's now part of the Michigan Medical franchise. So,
so we can only recommend people that we know are solid urinary medical oncologists.
Okay.
At the University of Michigan, there are a couple of people there.
You mentioned someone in Petoskey the last time I was on the call.
Well, because there is a guy who comes in from that area. I don't know his name.
Okay.
But we need to move on. I'll put a couple of names from Michigan in the chat window for you. But they're in Ann Arbor. They're not in Lansing. They're in Ann Arbor.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
But
I
appreciate, guys, I appreciate this very much.
My best suggestion for you would be Szmulewicz and the University of Miami. You know, you go in and you come out. You don't even have to stay overnight.
Okay.
Rick, let me say a couple things.
Please.
Steve, I've had BRCA2 for 16 years. I've been on ADT for 8 years straight now. And a few things. For one, your doctor on the flare is 100% wrong. The flare lasts 3 or 4 days and goes on for 2 to 3 weeks. At 1 month, it's gone. So he's not going to find it. You should be getting monthly tests. If it's your testosterone, if it hits 50, the Stampede trial says you should go back on ADT. It's if you don't, you are a BRCA2. You've got to realize it's very aggressive. And another thing, you want to get on a second level drug like apalutamide, enzalutamide, darolutamide preferably, or Zytiga, because if you stay on ADT for too long, you will become castrate resistant. And the median survival once you become castrate resistant is 2 years. Now, I've been castrate resistant for 6 years, but I've been taking the proper drugs all along since that happened to me. You really need to get on that second level drug. That is very important for your long-term survival because you're a Gleason 9. Let me give you an example for me. I was on ADT and it stopped working, and I went on Zytiga. Zytiga requires you take 4 pills. I asked my doctor if I could start taking 3.
I took 3 pills for 18 days. My PSA went from 0.2 to 1 in 18 days because BRCA2 just is aggressive. And I'm only a Gleason 4+3. So mine is not as aggressive as yours. You really need to get some better treatment. You got to get to that GU oncologist. You got to start getting monthly PSA tests and testosterone tests, because you don't want, going up to 700 is absurd. You're just feeding the cancer. Just some things to think about. I don't want to press too much.
No, thank you very much.
I mean, that's coming from a BRCA2 peer, Steve. And you'll hear, if you join our inherited mutations group on January the 8th, the new group that we're starting, you'll be able to meet other prostate guys with BRCA2, and you'll be able to compare notes with them. But I think Jerry Markey is giving you some really solid advice.
I appreciate you all very much.
Okay. The next on the hit list is Barry Blomquist.
Good evening, gentlemen. So I just an update here. I went down to Mayo and had a PET scan and a pelvic CT scan, and met with Dr. Kwan and Dr. Heath, and they both looked at the scans from last September until this last week, and basically said that virtually all of the cancer that had shown up back in September appeared to have been had stopped growing and was had gone away to a large extent. And my PSA was had gone down to 0.1 and from 0.13, and so that was good news. And then so Dr. Heath, I was wondering if I could switch from Abby over to darolutamide and stay on Lupron, and she recommended that I not do that and that I stay on Abby and on the Lupron, because switching at this time could potentially knock me out of potential trials that might be valuable in the future. And so she explained in detail, walked through the scans with me. They were very helpful. She was very reassuring. She's really knowledgeable, and I'm continuously impressed with her. And I had a friend who I had also managed to introduce to Dr. Heath. He's not on here tonight, but I think he might be watching. And he also went down to see Dr. Heath. Both he and I are being treated by Dr. Kwan as well. And he also, I had a meeting with her yesterday, and I came away feeling extremely good about her recommendations, the progress that we're making, he and I together. And so we move on to the next phase. I actually had a fairly positive meeting with Dr. Kwan as well. I mean, we've had some issues, but he met the same day I met with Dr. Heath. He was also very supportive. He also talked about how impressed he was with the scans. And he brought up the issue of the fact that he's a Chicago boy. And when you're in a fight to the death and you hit your opponent and knock them to their knees, you don't wait for them to get back up. You keep hitting them until they're down for the count. And so he made the suggestion. And so this is a question I have for everybody here who might be have had this strategy. And that is that he thought possibly early in 2026, it might be worthwhile for me to undergo treatment with Pluvicto to finish off whatever cancer might be hanging around in teeny spots. And knock it down and knock it out for good, rather than waiting for it to try to get back up. So that's my update. That's also my question, or my curiosity about the thoughts about utilizing Pluvicto at my stage right now.
So he waits till
And by the
Dr.
way,
Uh,
and one more thing, and I want to put in a pitch too for all of us guys to, you know, let's send in some checks and help AnCan out.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ben. This is right up your alley.
oh, is it? So Dr. Kwan waits till Dr. Heath is out of earshot before he gives you his brilliant treatment strategy.
Well, I met with Dr. Heath before I met with Dr. Kwan separately. She's in a completely different building.
And what did she say about following up with Pluvicto?
I haven't had a chance to talk to her since this was just late last week, so I haven't had a chance to talk to her, and I suspect, you know, for this week it'll probably be into the new year before I can get through to
So
her.
you saw Heath before you saw Kwan, not the other way around.
Correct.
Yeah. Ben?
I would I give Dr. Kwan credit. He has a way with words. He's charismatic. And that's all I'm going to say. I listen to Dr. Heath, you know, who is actually a GU medical oncologist. That's my advice to you.
Okay.
I would say a couple of things. I think the first thing I'd be exploring with Dr. Heath, since you were de novo metastatic, how many spots did we see originally, Barry? How many metastases did we see originally?
In my first scan way back in June or early July, when they showed me a picture of the scans, I looked like a dead man walking.
Okay. So you had a lot of scans, more than you had a lot of lesions, more than Ted.
Yeah.
Now, how many do we see now?
There were no red lesions whatsoever. Almost everything had turned white or neutral, you know, and there were a couple of little kind of pink ones that she thought were dying and would expire them by themselves.
So the discussion I'd suggest you have is the same one we're recommending that Gary Martin has, which is, look, he lifted his head because he heard his name. I saw that. You need to find out if they think it's appropriate for you to debulk your prostate, because we really think that there is value there. As it so happens, so does Mayo. But Mayo likes to do it with a scalpel, and we like to do it with radiation because it's less invasive. But there's been a lot of work done at Mayo about debulking the primary for metastatic men. And I think that that's a conversation that's really worthwhile. I wouldn't have that conversation with Kwan because he might say, yes, I'll put you under the knife. And we don't want to see that. But I think you should have that conversation. Now, we know that debulking the primary tends to work for men who have high volume lesions. One of the things it's not clear, although it's becoming clearer to me as I think about it, is, does that mean high volume lesions when we start it off? Or does it mean high volume lesions when we debulk you? Well, I suggest it means high volume lesions when we start it off, because most men who are getting debulked have been through chemotherapy, because that was the triplet. And we've known many men who have been recommended to debulk, and it's always been after they've done a bunch of treatment, and it's still been worth their while. So I do think that the discussion around debulking could be very worthwhile. Probably could be done with SBRT, so you could do it in very few sessions. And it's a conversation, if it were me, I'd be having with my quarterback medical oncologist. Now, Ben isn't a candidate for this because he doesn't have a prostate. But if he were a candidate and he still had a prostate, what would he say?
What's that, to debulking?
Yes.
I mean, I've read the same things you have, Rick, that it does seem to be beneficial for people who've had lots of many tumors. And yeah, I would think it would be worth doing. Seems it. I mean, not only is it borne out by studies, but it actually seems like it makes sense.
So, Barry, are you sort of following along with what we're suggesting here? Do you understand what we mean by debulking? I should ask you that first.
Well, I assume that means that you go in after the tumor that was in the prostate or still is in the prostate, and they try to go in and annihilate as much of it as possible.
Exactly.
Sure.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Sure.
And we've had a lot of guys who have done it. It's an easy treatment. The side effects are pretty limited. You know, there's some fatigue like with any radiation, but it's a worthwhile treatment, certainly, to discuss. And it's probably the next stage. And you and Mr. Martin should be talking to each other because you're kind of on the same track. Exchange emails.
Sure.
Right,
I'll
Mr. Martin, anything you'd like to add from you looking at debulking?
Yeah, Dr. Szmulewicz thinks I'm a candidate for debulking and MDT. Given my good response to the triplet therapy, he's classing me as oligometastatic.
Oligometastatic.
Yes. I just had 3 bone spots, and then 1 of 6 nodes is still a small amount there. But yeah, the debulking and MDT, he thinks I'm a good candidate. He referred me to Dr. Stanley Liao at University of Chicago. I wanted to see if you had any information on him.
We'll come back to you, but I just brought you in because I wanted Barry to hear somebody else just like him after triplet who's thinking about debulking.
Yes. That should be considered.
Very good. I'll bring that up to Heath.
Yeah. So please bring that up to Heath. That would be great. All right. We got to keep rolling here because we're over time and we probably still got 8 people left. I know. How many people do we have?
So let me ask, does anybody have to go and/or have something urgent that they want to ask or talk about?
Thank you. Great question.
John Maxwell?
Stanley Liao is fantastic. That's all.
To hear.
Ben, I'm going to withdraw my request in the interest of time.
Okay, thanks, Gary.
Well, I'm going to stay around, Gary, so I'll be here. If you're here, we'll talk about it. I know Michael Chandler has something that he really wants to throw out to the group. Go ahead, Michael.
Aloha and happy holidays. Sending warm aloha to you all from Maui, Hawaii. It's been a long time since I've been on, and a year ago, my aggressive form of prostate cancer metastasized to my T10 vertebrae. 3 days of radiation killed the hot spot at UC San Diego Health, where I've had all my care done and had my prostatectomy, I don't know, 4 years ago. And thank you, Rick, and thank you, AnCan, for directing me to a center of excellence. And time again, you all helped save my life. Thank you. I'm on ADT for 10 months, and that's going well. And my PSA's undetectable. I just 2.5 months ago did a PSMA PET scan, and they didn't find any hot spots. So I celebrated. And my at UC San Diego Health, my top urologist there, Dr. Rana McKay, because was having AFib playing tennis last summer, so she referred me to a cardio-oncologist, Dr. Naraskina, who's now referred me to a cardio, I don't know his name, what his title is, surgeon guy who's going to tune me up January 9th with an ablation. And Rick, thank you for putting me in touch. I've tried to reach this David guy who's had 2 ablations, but I'm still lucky being able to play tennis 4 days a week and do everything else. And just want to thank you all and have a good holidays. I have nothing else to share.
Well, what I wanted you to bring up, and what I'd like maybe Jeff Marchi and others to talk to you about, is that you're still on Orgovyx and abiraterone. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I want somebody to talk to you so you can go back and talk to Dr. Rana about how appropriate it is if you have heart issues and AFib to be on abiraterone. And since I'm not the expert on that, but I know that Mr. Markey is very knowledgeable on this one, and there may be other people in this room who are also knowledgeable on abiraterone when you have cardio issues. I'm going to ask Jeff to step up first, and then anybody else who wants to comment to you.
Well, let me throw in 2 cents.
Yep.
When I was incurring last summer AFib, playing tennis and other reasons, and my number one caregiver, my wife Cheryl, and I dug down, and abiraterone, could exacerbate my AFib, and so Dr. McKay at UC San Diego let me go off it for 6 days, and then when I sat down in front of the cardio-oncologist, Dr. Naraskina, she went, no, go back on abiraterone. And the only reason I have AFib is, number 1, age. I've been having trouble changing that variable. But number 2 is I was abusing alcohol too much, which I've stopped over 9 weeks ago. And so that's my AFib story.
Okay, well, Jeff Markey, what do you want to say about the abiraterone and the AFib and everything else from your peer experience?
I'm 78, and in 04 and 06, I had a couple of AFib events, which were just sort of weird ones. Didn't have them again until 2021 when I was on Zytiga for about 9 months. I had 4 more while I was on Zytiga. One of them put me in the hospital for 4 days because they gave me an antibiotic that screwed up my electrical system. They couldn't cardiovert it. My oncologist immediately said, "You're off of Abby," and I went on darolutamide, which has worked so much better for me. It's incredible. But you really have to worry about the side effects of Abby. One thing that really helps, and I heard this from a cardiologist that had retired, a friend of ours who's a retired cardiologist, is taking metoprolol. And I started taking that, and that's really settled my heart down, that one drug. Have you heard about it, metoprolol?
Yes, I've been on it for 8-9 months. 10 months.
Okay, well, that can make a big difference. In fact, he said when he started feeling an AFib event coming on, he'd take that and would stop it. And then when my third day in the hospital, they gave me that in the afternoon, and within an hour, mine went away. So it's great, but Zytiga is really stopping it for a short time may make may enable you to test, but and I've had Holter monitors that have just shown intermittent problems, but boy, at times it's just hit, and well, that's just Zytiga. Is there some reason you want to stay on Zytiga? It has the worst side effects of any of the drugs.
I've never been on Zytiga.
Well, that's abiraterone.
Oh, no, I do whatever, the doctors at UC San Diego Health say, and I'm, my wife's an intellect. I'm just an unemployed Indy 500 driver and don't know much. And so, yeah, I'll bring that. I have an appointment January 15th in San Diego with Dr. Rana McKay, one of the top urologists, and I'll bring that up with her. Thank you.
Darolutamide has really stabilized my cancer. I've been undetectable for 25 months after 16 years, and it really works well with ADT. So it just something to think about. I know it's called Nubequa and it has the least side effects and does not pass the blood-brain barrier, so it doesn't cause brain fog like abiraterone does.
Yeah,
just some things to think about.
Jeff, first of all, I want to point out for everybody here, Dr. Rana McKay is not a urologist. She's a medical oncologist, and she's a very, very good one. And she specializes in prostate. She's a GU med onc, and we send people to her. My recommendation would be to discuss with her, given these heart issues, whether you would be a better candidate to move to darolutamide. And I would go back to the cardio-oncologist and ask her why she thinks you should still be on abiraterone when we know abiraterone has greater cardio side effects. Again, this is where you and Cheryl have to be your own best advocate. It doesn't make sense to me for a man who's dealing with AFib issues to be on abiraterone from what we've heard in this group. Anybody want to comment on that? Dr. Russ or anybody else want to comment on abiraterone? And go ahead, Russ.
Well, I don't know how old Michael is, but I was offered, related to a positive scan, abiraterone, and I'm approaching 84, and it just doesn't make any sense to be on that drug at my age. And like Jeff, the darolutamide has just worked perfectly. It knocked my PSA from 5 to now 0.11, and no side effects. And I'm not sure. I've read about the toxicity related to abiraterone, and I know the cardiac, but the conduction system may not be affected by that drug. So when I've read it, it doesn't say exactly how the abiraterone affects the heart. But I see, I would be uncomfortable with AFib taking a drug that's known to produce increased cardiac toxicity when darolutamide works perfectly.
Yeah,
well, I'll take that note. And I'm to answer your question, I'm 67 years old, and I'm want to be proactive. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So so you heard it. Make sure you report accurately back to the wife. Okay. otherwise I get into trouble. And you tell her there's a bright pink t-shirt heading her way very soon. All right.
Well, I'll tell Cheryl that, and I want to thank you, Rick. And it makes us feel good to donate to AnCan to help keep you afloat. And thank you for the good work.
Thank you. And Dave, if you haven't heard from Dave Fisher, you will, and you'll enjoy that conversation. I will tell you, even though I think you don't drink coffee, that I just read that coffee AFib article in JAMA was one of the most read investigative articles in JAMA in 2025. I just saw that today. That coffee article is one of the best AFib articles, one of the best articles read.
Well, my wife and I are going to read it, and I've been abstaining from coffee my whole life, but I enjoy a black tea in the morning, so I'm trying to get my caffeine.
Okay, well, it works. It works. It works. Of course, and Dave was one of the members of that trial. He was in that trial.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, and happy holidays.
Thank you. Who do we have left? Mr. Nathanson, you're excused if you want to be, especially since I now have a camera, so you don't feel like you have to stay. Who do we still have to talk to?
Ben, we're supposed to hear from Ben.
Oh, we're supposed to hear from Ben. Cool. Thank you, Jeff Markey. Yeah, you're not excused until we hear from you, Ben.
There are. I'm going to triage myself out of this one because I will know. I'll actually have more interesting news next time. I'm going to have my PSMA PET scan after my second Pluvicto, and we'll see if anything is happening. So that'll be a more interesting, a more rounded account.
Yeah, but how do we know you're going to come back?
In fact, I'm thinking of trading for you for the first moderation slot next month. But we can talk about that separately.
We can talk about that outside. Okay, we'll talk about it. But folks, for those of you on the listening to the recording afterwards, and those of you who are still here, sounds like Mr. Nathanson may deign us with his presence again relatively soon so that he can give us an update, and we all look forward to that. Right, Jimmy Greenfield?
Yes. May I help you?
So who still needs time, Ben?
Dan needs time.
Okay, Dan.
Yes. Dan, I'm let me get my thoughts together. I'm going to Dr. McHugh as you recommended, and I was trying to find an oncologist who can give me my Lupron shots without traveling, 2 hours or so to get the shots. So he recommended my oncologist, my urologist here, but they only have 6 month shots. And so I checked with Dr. Hugh, he said, well, that's all right. And but my main thing is now I missed a whole week of exercise during Thanksgiving, and I was feeling great. But now I'm beginning the fatigue is bothering me, and I'm getting brain fog. And I've been exercising for at least a week now. It just hasn't made any difference in my eating habits. Hasn't changed much, and I'm getting, I'm trying to sleep. I'm having a little trouble sleeping. So what would you recommend that I do to get my energy levels back up?
Okay, well, the first thing I just want to say is keep bugging your local urologist for that 90-day or 120-day depot shot, okay? Keep asking him for it. They make it, they can order it, he can get it for you. He may only have 6 month shots in right now, but if you're going to be seeing him on a regular basis, keep asking him for a 90-day or 120-day depot.
Okay.
Yes.
For Lupron?
Yes, Lupron. Yes,
Okay.
you can get the 180-day, but our concern is that in that last 2 months, 60 days, it may not be that effective. And that's why we don't like it. All right. So
that's for a 90-day.
So you want a 90-day or 120-day ideally if you're going to be on Lupron. And nothing longer than 120 days.
Okay.
Now, to get back to the question on exercise and brain fog. I'm going back to Mr. Nathanson because he's still here, and he can talk to you a little bit about what exercise and brain fog can, and how to manage your brain fog and your exercise.
I know that experience where exercise maybe used to help lift you out of it and then seems to stop working. The advice that I got was stop trying so hard, go easy on yourself. You can't do what you used to do. I mean, the temptation is to double down. Oh yeah, you know, I gotta work harder because I'm not getting anywhere. And that's the wrong way to go. You need to actually do stuff that you can do and build back up. I would run up hills, and it wasn't fun, and it wasn't helping, and I was promised I'd be able to run up hills again, but I had to moderate how ambitious I was. I had to take it easier. I had to go at a slower pace, expect less from myself, and not kill myself with the exercise. That's my own experience, but I see others have their hands up. Jeff Markey?
Yes, Dan, I'm wondering, are you getting some sleep during the day? Maybe hour and a half of sleep?
I have been lately.
All right, well, here's the problem. When you do that, you get into REM sleep. It messes up your night sleep, and you can't sleep at night as long because you've gotten the REM sleep during the day. You need to set a timer for like 25 or 30 minutes if you sleep during the day, and wake up and get up after that amount of time. You can't let yourself sleep for an hour or more, or you'll end up with a fatigue because you don't sleep at night.
Gotcha.
I do exactly that. Once in a while, I have the fatigue, and I set my timer for 25 minutes, and I'm good till midnight. But and then I sleep all night. But I've had other people that I work with that have the same issue. They slept during the day and they overdid it.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you.
Larry, what say you? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Rick.
Yeah, I was just going to. I think that's a great trip. Go ahead, Larry.
Thank you. Sorry, I came in a little bit late, but I caught the tail end of that. Energy. I caught a cold and laid off exercise for a week and a half. And as a corollary to Ben Nathanson's advice, I recommend powering through, but accept the fact that you have had a setback. My ability to go for the aerobic exercise shrunk. My ability to lift weights cut back. So I just accepted the fact that I was doing 55 pounds before I got sick, and I was down to 40 pounds afterwards for certain exercises. And I just, continued from there. I did not lay off the number of days that I exercised. I continued on my schedule at lower weights and a little less intense on the aerobic, and I gradually gained back. But on ADT, it's going to take time, and you just got to just maintain, just keep doing it.
So I have a couple of things to suggest for you, Dan. First of all, you've got to be stretching your brain every day, which means doing, if you like numbers, doing Sudoku. If you like words, doing crossword puzzles or word games. What I did was I played a rubber bridge on the computer every night because that made me remember the cards. So I had to be thinking, concentrating on remembering the cards. But you need to do something like that each and every day and set aside specific time to do it. It's as important as the exercise. I personally think it makes a difference. So are you doing anything like that right now?
Yeah, I play a game where it requires to a bunch of letters, figure out what words go there, and then it asks you questions about the Bible, who was the father, whoever, and like that, so I play that quite frequently.
Okay, well, as long as you do that. The second thing is that if the brain issue, if you feel like the brain fog persists, you can talk to Dr. McHugh about switching from abiraterone to darolutamide.
Okay.
Okay. And because the brain fog is often less with darolutamide than it is with the abiraterone, and you can have that discussion with him.
Okay.
I'm putting it into the chat window right now. But I would only say do that after you really feel that the brain fog is getting persistent and interfering with your quality of life.
Okay.
So I'm going to put switch from Abby to Darrow. Okay. That would be my suggestion. Anybody else have anything for Dan on to help him managing fatigue? Yes, Jeff Markey.
Yeah, one other thing. I've worked with people that have gotten a lot of fatigue because they're on Zytiga. And Zytiga has 2 different prednisone levels that are recommended, either 5 or 10 milligrams. And one guy I worked with was falling asleep for 3 hours after waking up on Abby. And I said, talk to your doctor about increasing your prednisone. He went up to 10 milligrams and it pretty much resolved the problem. The fatigue, the cortisol, you just don't have enough cortisol in your body. And that may be an issue, so that you could ask your doctor about that. But be aware that if you stop prednisone, you must taper it off over a long period of time.
Right.
You can't just stop it, or you will have just such fatigue you won't believe it.
Okay.
But if you increase it, it may resolve the fatigue right away.
But this man's exceptional. He dropped the prednisone of his own accord, and he didn't have any side effects. He was very, very, very lucky. And then we put him back on prednisone again.
Yes.
Okay. We still have. I'm sorry to keep rushing through, but we've got Gary Peters, Russ Hoover, and Jay to talk to, and we'll get to all of you. And then if everybody's still here, we've got Mark N who has something to bring up. So,
Rick?
Yes.
You still have a chance to talk to my friend Paul.
He's not here.
Yes, he is. He's caller 3.
Oh, he's caller 3.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that next. Who knew that he was caller 3?
I'm sorry, he couldn't get his video. I should have told you.
Oh.
You're back burnering me like you always do.
I withdrew because I've got to run.
Okay,
yeah, Gary pulled out.
Gary, tell us what your issue is, and we'll take it first.
No, because I don't want to race through it. It was just an update with a couple of little things. I can do it next time.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got to run, we'll give you we'll take you first. We're happy to get an update. Well, you never tell us what's going on with you anyway. You're like Ben,
Well,
and then,
I promise I will. But I wish everybody happy holidays.
Okay. You're lucky, Paul. He's stepping by. All right, Paul. So, Ben, do you want to do it, or should I do it?
Rick, I'm going to take advantage of your gracious invitation
You go.
down.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Good to see everyone again.
Don't be a stranger. Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Okay. Paul, this is Rick Davis. Let me go through with you some questions. So
Rick, hold on, Rick. Make sure, Rick, I'm sorry. Make sure that he can hear you and that you can hear him. because he wasn't even sure that his phone was working properly. I see his name on the thing now. Paul, are you there? Oh my.
Are you there, Paul? Can you hear us? I don't know why it's so challenging for some people, but it is. It is. It is. All right. So we're going to move on to. You're getting back. You're getting back, and we'll take him when we get him. Okay. We're going to go to Jay and Gary. Gary passed. So I will remember that for next time we get priority. And we'll go to Jay and then we'll go to Russ. Jay.
Okay. Hey, thanks, guys. Hey, I heard a little story. I just wanted to bring it up, but they said doctors are getting paid incentives not to do scans and recommendations. Could that even be true?
Okay, I can't. We're not going to discuss stuff here. It's not. I don't know. And
okay,
let's talk about you and not whether doctors are
meeting next week.
Scans or not. Are you getting the scans that you need?
Do yourself a favor and get a 13-year-old.
Oh, Jimmy, can you mute? Can you mute, please, Jimmy? Jimmy, can you mute, please?
Maybe he is now. Is he muted?
He doesn't show it. Well, we're just going to mute him.
He must be being quiet. Okay. Should I go on?
Let's talk about you, Jay.
Okay. Hey, so I'm trying to go to Florida in about a week and Sunday. And so I've gone back and forth with trying to get that medical oncologist. Well, my place in St. Cloud does not want to touch it because they want me to find a medical oncologist in Florida. And I tried to say, hey, I don't think my insurance will cover it down there. They won't even cover the Mayo Clinic down there. So I've switched insurance companies, and the Mayo Clinic guy, it's Ryan Brisson, and we had a good talk, and he said he would write me a prescription for something to keep my testosterone down so I can wait till I get home to do the radiation. I know they want to do better sooner than later, but the doctor at Centricare did write me a 14-day bicalutamide, 15 milligram thing. And so I have 14 days of that. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do in 14 days.
Okay, so slow down a minute because I am totally confused.
I'm doing radiation. I've decided on that after all my research, but I cannot do it until April unless I change everything up.
What does that mean?
Like I'd have to do radiation now and then go to Florida, and I've already paid for 4 months, down there. And
in other words, the issue is you want to take your 4 months down in Florida, and you need to be you want to be on some sort of drug whilst you're down in Florida. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
They could not get me in until March anyway with surgery.
The reason why he's giving you the bicalutamide is because at the end of the bicalutamide, he's assuming you're going to get a shot.
I was hoping oral pills. They said that
if you're getting the pills, you don't need the bicalutamide.
Right. Okay. So I'll probably get the pills if insurance will cover it. That seems to be the big one. If, that's why they give the shot, I think.
Right. If the insurance covers it, then you start on the Orgovix and you take that for the several months until you return.
Oh, okay. So there is a way to do this, because they really told me today, you can't do this at Centricare. you know, no medical oncologist is going to cover you because they're liable for doing follow-ups. So they just
I mean,
don't want to
look,
touch.
Who the doctor? Where are you right now? Are you still in St. Cloud?
Yes, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Yep.
And who is the doctor you're talking to in St. Cloud?
It'd be Ross Volker, but it was his nurse today that
No, what type of doctor is it?
Oh, he's the surgeon, urologist.
He's a urologist. Okay.
And I believe you told me to get a medical oncologist.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. He's
But
a urologist.
Yeah.
Tell your urologist you want to be on hormone therapy for the next 4 months until you return.
Okay. Yeah, it's my body. They just are really making me feel kind of guilty, you know. Do it now.
Hold on. Let's not go there. We can talk about this in a minute. Let's get a program down first.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Tell your urologist that you want to be on hormone therapy for 4 months. If his nurse says nobody's going to do that, tell her I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the doctor. All right? And you tell the doctor, this is what I want to be. I would like to be on Orgovix if my insurance will cover it. If not, I'll take the bicalutamide for the 15 days and then give me a Lupron shot. And then give me a 90-day Lupron shot.
90 days.
Okay? And then come back to us and tell us what they're saying. Now, do you need, in the long run, a GU medical oncologist? Maybe, maybe not, because you're high risk, but you don't have lesions. We don't see any lesions anywhere.
I did have a PSA last Friday, and it was 6.1, up from 4.1 in August. So that was a little unnerving.
Well, but that's not very high for what you have. Have you had your slides reread?
I'm still waiting to hear from them. I did have them send it to the Mayo Clinic, and I did that color genetic thing.
We told you not to send them to the Mayo Clinic. Did you send your slides to Epstein or Zhao?
Oh, no.
Okay, you've got to do this. Jay, you got to get in the program with us, otherwise we can't help you. The Mayo Clinic is not the right place. And we went through that last time, and we told you who the doctors were, and we put it in the chat window.
But now we've been saying Elizabeth Heath is the be-all, end-all.
No, I'm talking about focus on you, not what I'm telling other people. You don't need Elizabeth Heath.
Oh, she's for
you don't
bigger.
need a medical oncologist. We've got to decide what treatment you're going to do and where you're at. Now, part of that is getting a second opinion on your slides. And those have to go to either Dr. Epstein or Dr. Zhao.
Eckstein or Zhao.
All right, now.
Those slides, that was for the Gleason 4+4. You're rereading it to make sure it's right.
That's the pathologist. That's what we're saying to you. Don't send your slides back to Mayo. We want you to send them to Zhao or Epstein to confirm. It happens all the time that they come back and they give a completely different reading and it changes the treatment. Just like we heard that earlier on today from Bob Young.
Right, and I would like to contact him. So good, you gave me his email. Yeah, I know I did those genetic tests, the color one, promise. You know, I checked on those. They're doing the Decipher one. They basically said those are good, but they won't determine what we're doing, just how long we're going to do the ADT stuff. It sounds like.
Well, no, it's not going to determine. What's going to determine that is confirming whether you're a 4+4 or not.
Okay.
And that's why we've been saying to you, you've got to get your slides reread. Okay.
And where are those doctors? What town are they in?
It doesn't matter. The slides are sent to them.
Oh, okay.
Your urologist sends your slides to them, and then they send them back. It could be in Timbuktu for all you care.
Really, not the physical slides, the digital copies.
No, the physical slides get sent to them.
Wow. Well, will they know who I'm talking about? I mean, will they know these people and addresses of where to send them to?
You should know. I'm going to put some information in the chat window. There's also information on the website. Okay. You can also call Dr. Epstein and he can pull those slides. He can put in a request to get them from your doctors rather than your doctors sending them to him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That would probably be the way. Yeah.
Here's some information on Epstein. I just put it in the chat window for you.
Okay.
All right?
I'll look at that.
So the other option, hold on a minute. The other option, and I think Dr. Epstein is out the office this week. If you have a problem, you can go to Dr. Zhao. And here's Dr. Zhao. Dr. Zhao trained under Dr. Epstein. He's also very, very good. Both these doctors will talk to you about what they find.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
now, both of them are right there in the chat window. Now, you've got to make sure, even if you're doing radiation, you got to get those slides reread. Where were they read the first time?
It was Centric Care St. Cloud. So that's why I was at least doing a double check at the Mayo Clinic, and I did mention that, you know, they weren't really a center of excellence, and they gave me a story about it's not hard to be a center of excellence if you have a couple of good cases.
I don't care.
Yeah, it was.
I don't care.
He was justifying why they're not a center.
Know what they're going to say to you. They're selling you a bill of goods. These two gents have the best eyes in the world when it comes to looking at prostate cancer and genitourinary slides.
So if they look at them, the Dr. Epstein or Zhao, and they find something else, should I go back to St. Cloud and just have them do what they think then? The new treatment?
We will decide. I've already said to you, for your treatment, I would go to a center of excellence.
There's one, I believe Barry said, in the cities, the Masonic Lodge, some hospital.
Yeah. Sonic Cancer Center in Minneapolis is excellent. And we can get you the name of the right, if you're going to go there, we'll get you the name of the best radiation oncologist, or we'll get you a recommended name for a radiation oncologist.
And then I have to see if my new insurance, because I did change to Medica. I'm not in Medicaid yet, or Medicare. So that's a factor too, you know.
Okay, so the thing is, you're not going to do anything because you want to go to Florida for 100.
You're good.
So,
right.
Well, I'm good because I got other people who are still waiting, Jay. I can't, you know, I'd love to have a chat with you and schmooze with you, but we've been on this call now for 3 hours. So you've got to work with me, man. All right?
Okay.
Step one, get those slides reread. When they come back, come on to this meeting. It starts an hour earlier, an hour later in Florida than it does where you are. All right? Come back onto the meeting. We're going to have meetings week after week.
Okay.
We're going to have the meetings and tell us what they found. And then we'll talk to you about the radiation. What type of radiation? Where are you going to get it? I guarantee they're going to tell you in St. Cloud they got the best equipment and it's state of the art. I can almost guarantee that ain't true.
Right. The Mayo Clinic gave me three options: 5-day, 20-day, or 28-day.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is it may be more than that, because 5 days and 28 days don't take into account radiation across the pelvic girdle, and you may need that. And you're a 4+4. That's not state of the art. What with a 4+4, they should be talking to you about treating the gland and treating the pelvic girdle. That's state of the art. Now, we'll tell you how to address that when you come back. What we don't want to see you doing is getting 25 shots and sending you home.
Right. So my first thing is I'll try to get them to give me the not a Lupron shot, but the Orgorovix.
You need to see if you can get the Orgovyx right away. If you cannot get the Orgovyx, you want the bicalutamide, and you will need a shot.
Right. They gave me the bicalutamide for 15 days. Okay. So I got that.
Don't start taking that until you know. I mean, I shouldn't be giving you medical advice, but if you're going to get the Orgovyx, you don't need the bicalutamide.
Right. They said to just start it, until the other one gets ready or whatever.
Well, you tell them they don't know what they're talking about. You don't need the bicalutamide if you are getting the Orgovyx.
Okay.
You don't say you don't know what you're talking about. You say to them, why are you giving me bicalutamide if I'm going to get Orgovyx? Why are you giving me bicalutamide if I'm going to get Orgovyx? Why do I have to take the bicalutamide?
Yeah, I think it was an insurance thing. My insurance with one hospital runs out on January 1st. The other, it kicks in on January 1st. So this doctor in St. Cloud wanted to give me something before I decide to go somewhere else. But now I won't know about Mayo Clinic then. But I can decide when I get back, if I take that Orgorovix. And that's an oral pill too, or is it a shot?
Which?
Orgorovix?
Orgovyx is a pill.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Here's what you've got to do. Your new insurance will cover the Orgovyx, correct?
I won't know that until I call the insurance. It's Medica.
Right. So that's what I was going to say. Call Medica, tell them you're coming on their program, and you need to know, do they cover Orgovyx?
Orgovyx.
Orgovyx.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
You call them and you say, do you cover Orgovyx? And if they say yes, then you want a doctor to order that Orgovyx, and they can. I don't know exactly how it works at the turn of the year, but I'm sure they can order it now and put a request for it to be delivered on the 1st or the 2nd of the year. When are you leaving for Florida?
The 27th or
right,
28th
so
of December. So they could send that to Florida, or I could pick it up there.
No, here's the problem. Okay. Can they send it to Florida? Can you pick it up there? I suspect that yes, if it's approved, your doctor can write you a prescription and you can pick it up in Florida, but I don't know for sure. Dr. Russ, is that right?
Wait, he's on mute.
You're muted, Russ.
I can't answer that. I've been out of practice for 15 years, but
okay.
Normally, yes. If it's a script it can be across states as long as it's not a narcotic. I'm pretty sure that would take
Right.
place.
Sometimes you have to go to a special, what do they call it? Specialized pharmacy or something.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the answer, Larry, is no. Firmagon's not an option because he needs 4 months worth of treatment. So either he's going to have to get the pills or he's going to have to get a shot and a 90-day depot or a 120-day depot because he's got nowhere to go in Florida to get Firmagon.
And that was
All right.
90 days of Lupron.
So yes, but if you want to make it easy on yourself, take the 15 days of bicalutamide and get a shot here's the problem.
Yeah.
You don't have enough time. You don't have enough time to take the bicalutamide.
Well, right. I would be taking it till January 4th.
And then where are you going to get your Lupron shot? And you don't want to take your Lupron shot until you've done 10 days of bicalutamide. These guys are screwing you around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the answer is, why am I taking this bicalutamide? Who's going to give me my Lupron shot at the end of the bicalutamide?
Right. And they kind of said, oh, you'll have to find a medical oncologist in Florida. And I'm like, that's going to be tough because then I would be coming back here to do treatment probably. The Mayo guy did say he has a good friend in Fort Myers. It's a private practice, not covered, of course, so that's out of it. Even the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville is not covered. So
I think you've got a problem here, and unless you can get the Orgovix by the time you leave, you've got an issue.
Right. Okay. Well, I can talk to that doctor.
I just don't know how to solve it for you.
Right.
Other than you delay going down, take 10 to 15 days worth of bicalutamide, get a shot, and then leave. That will work. Or get your Orgovix right now. Get your Orgovix. Why can't you get Orgovix from your existing provider?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that right off the bat.
If you can get your Orgovix in the next 7 days from your existing provider, you're fine. And then the new provider will pick it up.
Yep. And then don't take the bicalutamide.
You don't need the bicalutamide if you're taking Orgovix.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you're not taking Orgovix, you've got to take 10 to 15 days of the bicalutamide before you get the Lupron shot. And you've got to figure out who's going to give you that Lupron shot out of state, or you're going to have to wait to get it. I mean,
yeah, they just didn't want to give me my doctor, my oncologist. Nobody wanted to commit because they're not going to see me, and they wanted to have follow-up and all that. I
can't help you because this all revolves around you wanting to go for 4 months to Florida, and we can't solve personal issues like that, Jay. I can only tell you what the medical advice is, and now you understand, and and it's all been left too late.
Well, I started this journey in August, and it's taken this long to get to radiation is what I'm doing. And now there's, and they said I can't get in anyway until March. So I thought, oh, I've got time. I'll do radiation when I get back. So, and that's where the time goes. So,
okay. I don't know what to say to you. Where are you going in Florida?
Fort Myers. So there's a new proton radiation place there, right there, but won't be covered over $100,000. So, and money is an issue.
Okay, so we shouldn't even talk about it. If you need a doctor whilst you're down there, reach out to us. We can make connections, but
Okay.
we've got to be clear on what we want. And I don't know what to say. I think you've put yourself, you've backed yourself into a corner here. My suggestion to you, send the wife down and follow her down a few days later.
Yep. We might have to do something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Yeah.
Thank
Hey, have
you.
a Merry Christmas. See you next year. In 2 weeks, I'll try to get on.
Yeah, please do. JHT issues. I'll know what that is. And Gary, I'm sorry you've had to wait so long.
Gary Martin?
Yes.
Yeah. I got the consult with Dr. Szmulewicz in Chicago last week, and he suggests I'm a candidate for debulking and MDT, and referred me to Dr. Stanley Liao at University of Chicago.
Right.
Wondered if y'all know of him.
He's very good. He's fine. He's perfect.
Okay.
Good man. He may not know AnCan, so you got to talk us up. Dr. Szmulewicz certainly knows AnCan.
Yes.
And I think Liao knows who we are, but it's hard to get into him. But yes, he's a very, very good doc for your debulking.
Yeah, I got an appointment on the 5th, January 5th. I guess the other issue is my current primary care oncologist has not been on board with doing anything other than a ADT going forward until resistance, and then do something else. So I guess that's a quandary in how to transition, to somebody that will work with the radiation oncologist.
Well, wait a minute. Let me just understand. You are on right now Orgovyx and darolutamide, correct?
Correct. And
what is the problem? What is the issue that you're?
Well, the oncologist is saying that there's no data to support doing anything else at this point, but Dr. Szmulewicz says otherwise.
So,
pardon?
I understand. There's no data to support what?
Debulking or
you on Orgovyx and darolutamide?
No data to support treating the tumors, the debulking or the MDT.
Okay. So your current doctors are saying we'll keep you on Orgovyx and darolutamide, but we don't have the data to support the debulking.
Correct. That's his point of view.
Right. So why can't what is stopping Dr. Russell from ordering the debulking?
Well, he wanted the radiation oncologist to look at my scans and give his viewpoint on what would be needed.
Okay. Dr. Liao is going to look at those scans, correct?
Yes.
So I guess I'm not clear where you're having a hang up. You've gone to Dr. Russell. Dr. Russell says, yes, I think you should debulk. Go see Dr. Liao. You've gone to Dr. Liao. He says, yes, I'll look at the scans. Come see me on January the 5th. You're on Orgovyx and you're on darolutamide.
Right. I guess
what's the issue?
Will my current oncologist continue to see me, treat me, just with the ADT, while I'm also getting treatment with radiation.
Dr. Russell's going to take it. Let Dr. Russell take over the ADT and the darolutamide.
Okay. I'll see if he can do that. In his notes, he said that my current oncologist would be primary and he would consult. So I just wasn't
Okay.
sure
So have you asked you've told your local people that you want to debulk, and they've said we don't agree with that?
No, I haven't told him that yet, but he wasn't offering to investigate that or.
Well, wait a minute, Gary. They told you that SWOG 1802 was available to you if you wanted to debulk.
Right. Initially, they
did, right? So now you're saying, I don't want to do SWOG 1802. I want Dr. Liao to do the debulking.
Right.
So
okay.
why would your current doctors be opposed?
I'm not sure. His point of view was.
We see this a lot. We've seen it a lot tonight. We put issues there that aren't there. If they're there, we'll deal with them.
Okay.
But the problem is that the issue here is everything's going just like we wanted it to go. You went to see Dr. Russell. He agrees debulking's a good idea. He sent you to an excellent radiation oncologist. You're on the drugs, and you're sitting there saying, oh, but what if my doctors don't all agree with this? Well, if they don't agree with it, you fire them. And you get another local doctor.
Okay. Switch to Dr. Szmulewicz.
And you say to Dr. Szmulewicz, my doctors didn't agree with what you're doing. Can you be the primary, or can you recommend somebody locally that you can work with?
Okay. Okay, I'll pursue that. That'd be the best solution.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're on top of it. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there, but don't put the hurdles there until the doctors give you the hurdles. It's tough enough without the doctors giving you the hurdles, you know?
Right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Ross, did you ask for time? You're muted.
I'm sorry, what did you ask me?
Did you ask for time for yourself tonight?
No.
Okay, so I thought I wrote down Russ, but I think it was Russell Hoover, and he's not here.
It was Russ Hoover.
Yes. So we've got Russ Hoover and Gary Peters for next week, for next session, which I will remember. And Mark N., you came in late and you had something you wanted to discuss.
Yes, I'm just a quick review. I'm a 4+3 Gleason. I've got introductal and cribriform morphology. I've decided to go with radiation therapy and hormone treatments, 6 months of hormone plus radiation. As far as we know now, everything's contained within the prostate from the imaging we have. Originally, Dr. Tran suggested SBRT for the 5 doses of that over a couple of weeks. That sounded good. But in recent conversations, we were reviewing my nighttime urinary habits, if you will, and he said that IMRT might be a better option for me. So I'm in the process now. I need to decide within the next week or 10 days so I can get something moving, because it's about that time here. So I'm just looking for any inputs on IMRT versus SBRT and urinary issue side effects or treatment side effects or anything on this topic.
Okay. So we don't seem to think that SBRT has any worse treatment side effects than IMRT. That said, if you have urinary issues, I would defer to Dr. Tran, who's a very good doc, and if he thinks you're going to be better off with IMRT than SBRT, I think you've got to go with Dr. Tran. This is not an even up situation. If it were an even up situation, we'd be saying SBRT because it's much easier on you. You can get done in 4 treatments or 5. You can do it in 4. They do it in 5 because they make more money with 5. But Dr. Roach seems to think you can do it in 4. My money's on Dr. Roach. That said, Dr. Tran doesn't want to do it in 4 or 5 because he's worried that it could upset your urinary situation. And I don't have the experience to sell you one way or the other. And now there's only 6 of us left in here. And I don't know if anybody has any input on this, but my input is go with Dr. Tran.
Okay, so far that's what I'm doing, Rick. I've deferred to him. I just wanted to bounce it off you guys and confirm my thoughts. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bloody hell, I thought I'd be talking to myself. I was about ready to be talking to myself if anyone else had been dropped off. Oh, here comes Schwartz. Schwartz is back. Thank you. I needed a support team, and we see him back here. All right, guys, listen. 7:12. We've only been going for 3 hours and 12 minutes. So somebody's going to have a very long recording to listen to. I wish you all a very happy. Bob, you put your microphone on.
Rick, you got to take some time for yourself. Take some time for yourself and recharge your batteries. I saw what you did tonight. Just relax. Relax.
Thank you. Well, I've been sick for the last 10 week and a half, and I'm almost better. But I've got I don't think I'm contagious, and I've been worried about going out tomorrow night because I don't want to infect anybody. But my ears are almost clear, and my voice is just a little scratchy. That's all.
Get some sleep. You need some sleep.
Okay, I'll get some sleep. Yes, sir.
Am
I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Good night, everybody. I'll see you have a wonderful holiday, a good new year, and I'll see you on the 5th. Is it the 5th? Who knows when it is? But I know I'm back in the hot seat. Yeah, the 5th. Okay, goodbye. Take care.
Bless you, Rick.
Hanging in. Bye.